Earth's last warning echoed across the stars. Then humanity took the galaxy. The Galactic Council chamber hung in the void like a jewel of arrogance. 10,000 species had gathered here over the centuries, each learning their place in the cosmic order. Today, humanity would learn theirs. Ambassador Marcus Reed stood alone on the speaking platform, a tiny figure beneath the curved ceiling that displayed distant stars. Around him, in ascending rings of seats, thousands of alien delegates watched with eyes, sensors, and organs. Humans had no names for. The air tasted of recycled atmosphere and barely concealed contempt. The council has reached its decision. Vorn's voice boomed through the chamber. The massive insectoid shifted his bulk, mandibles clicking with satisfaction. Earth has violated territorial agreements in 47 systems. You have expanded without permission. You have ignored our guidance. This cannot continue. Marcus said nothing. He simply waited, hands clasped behind his back. Therefore, Vorn continued, we issue Earth's final warning. You have 30 days to withdraw all human presence from the disputed systems. Failure to comply will result in complete quarantine of your home system. All trade will cease. All diplomatic relations will end. You will be alone. The chamber erupted in approving sounds, chirps, growls, whistles, and stranger noises. Marcus waited for silence. May I respond? He asked. Vorn waved a limb. Speak quickly, human. The council's patience is exhausted. Marcus pulled a small device from his pocket. A holographic display materialized above the platform, showing star charts and legal documents. Section 7. Provision 12 of the Council Charter states that any unclaimed system beyond established borders is open to colonization after proper survey and registration. Earth has followed this process exactly. Those systems were under consideration by elder species, Vorn snapped. Consideration is not a legal claim. Marcus's voice remained calm. We have documentation of every survey, every filing, every regulation we followed. The systems in question had no registered claims when we arrived. A reptilian delegate named Cross leaned forward. You knew we intended to claim them. Young species are supposed to wait, to learn patience. Marcus smiled without warmth. Or obedience. The chamber fell silent. Marcus continued. Earth requested membership in this council 15 years ago. We paid the fees. We learned your languages. We studied your laws, all 40,000 pages of regulations, precedents, and bylaws. We did everything you asked. He gestured at the holograms. And we discovered something interesting. The council has offered guidance to 42 young species in the past 3 centuries. Every single one accepted that guidance. Every single one withdrew when told to withdraw. Every single one now occupies exactly the territory they held when they first made contact. Not one system more. That is the natural order, Vorn said. Elder species guide the young. This is how civilization functions. No, Marcus said flatly. This is how elder species keep competition weak. You don't guide, you contain. You test each new race, expecting them to bow. And when they do, you never let them rise. Outrage exploded through the chamber. Delegates shouted in dozens of languages. Security drones moved closer to the platform. Vorn's voice cut through the chaos. You dare accuse this council? I accuse no one, Marcus interrupted. I simply state facts. Earth will not withdraw from any system we legally claimed. If you believe we violated your laws, present evidence. Real evidence, not assumptions about what young species should do. Cross stood, his scales flushing dark red. This is why humans are dangerous. You have no respect, no understanding of your place. Our place? Marcus looked around the chamber. We are one species among thousands. We claim no special status. We ask only for what your own laws promise, equal treatment. If we break a law, charge us. If we haven't, leave us alone. Vorn's mandibles clacked rapidly, a sign of anger. You forget yourself, human. The council could crush Earth with ease. Our combined fleets number in the millions. What do you have? A few hundred ships? Perhaps 1,000? Marcus met his gaze. Is that a threat of war, council leader? It is a statement of reality. Then let me state another reality. Marcus's voice hardened. Earth will withdraw from 0 systems. If you want those territories, you'll have to take them. And before you make that decision, you should know something about humans. He paused, letting the silence build. We don't bluff. We don't threaten. When we say we'll fight, we fight. When we say we'll defend something, we defend it. You've spent 15 years watching Earth, studying our home system, counting our ships. That was your mistake. What mistake? Vorn demanded. You watched where we came from. You never watched where we went. Marcus's smile returned, cold as deep space. You have 30 days, Council Leader, not us. You have 30 days to decide if you really want to learn what humans do when someone tries to cage us. He deactivated the hologram and walked toward the exit. The chamber remained silent, thousands of aliens watching the lone human leave. Vorn's voice followed him. 30 days, Ambassador Reed. Withdraw or face the consequences. Marcus didn't look back. 30 days, Council Leader. Choose wisely. The door sealed behind him, and the galaxy's countdown began. The galaxy holds its breath deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, in a command center that didn't exist on any public map. General Hayes watched the council broadcast end. Around him, dozens of officers sat at monitoring stations, their faces illuminated by screens showing star maps, fleet positions, and encrypted communications. He did it. Admiral Torres said quietly. She stood beside Hayes, arms crossed, her expression unreadable. He actually told them no. Hayes nodded. Marcus always had steel in him. Question is, will the council believe we can back up his words? They're about to find out. Torres gestured to a nearby screen. Intelligence reports council fleets mobilizing near the border zones. Looks like Vorn wants to make an example of us. Let him try. Hayes turned to a young lieutenant at a communication station. How many species have made private contact since the broadcast? 7 so far, sir. The Trell, the Mekons, and 5 smaller species. All want to know if we're serious about fighting. Tell them we are, politely. Hayes pulled up a star chart showing human-controlled space. Red markers indicated the 47 disputed systems. Blue markers showed something else. Thousands of them scattered throughout the galaxy. What's the status of the fleet? Torres smiled. Hidden and ready. The council's watching our home system, just like we expected. They see our public fleet. 800 ships, nothing special. They think that's all we have, and the rest? Scattered across 200 systems, tucked inside asteroid belts, hiding in gas giants, powered down to minimum signatures. 10,347 vessels, all waiting for the signal. Hayes felt satisfaction warm his chest. 15 years. 15 years of humanity playing the role of eager students, asking questions, following rules, appearing harmless. And all that time they'd been building. The council thinks young species are stupid, Hayes said. They think because we only discovered faster-than-light travel recently, we must be primitive. They forgot something important. What's that, sir? We've been building ships and fighting wars for thousands of years. We just didn't have the stars yet. Once we got FTL, we didn't need to learn how to build, we already knew. We just built bigger. Torres pulled up another display. The timeline? Day 1 through 10, we stay quiet. Let them think we're panicking. Maybe negotiating in private. Day 11 through 20, we evacuate civilians from the border systems. Make it look like we're preparing to withdraw, and then, day 21, we move the fleet into position. Slowly, carefully, under full stealth. By day 30, we'll have ships in every disputed system and a dozen more they don't know about. A new officer approached, tablet in hand. General, we're getting reports from our intelligence network. 3 council species are privately supporting us, the Trell, the Mekons, and the Very. They're not happy with how the elder species run things. Hayes wasn't surprised. Humanity hadn't just studied council laws. They'd studied council politics, history, grudges, and alliances. They knew which species had been held back, which had been cheated, which resented the elder species' control. Have we confirmed the Trell's offer? Hayes asked. Yes, sir. They'll provide intelligence on council fleet movements. The Mekons are offering supply stations in neutral space. The Very haven't specified yet, but they're with us. Torres shook her head in amazement. 3 species willing to betray the council for us. Vorn has no idea what he started. He does now, Hayes said. The council's power is based on everyone believing it's unbeatable. Once we prove that's a lie, others will follow. That's what Vorn really fears, not our ships, but our example. The days began to pass. On day 3, Earth's news network showed panicked crowds demanding the government withdraw from the disputed systems. Hayes smiled. All staged, all designed to make the council think humanity was divided. On day 7, human merchant ships began leaving council space, heading back toward Earth. The council counted them, noted their retreat, and grew more confident. On day 12, civilian transports started evacuating the border colonies. Council observers watched through long-range sensors, reporting back that humanity was preparing to surrender. On day 15, Marcus sent a private message to several council members, asking if negotiations were possible. He was ignored. The trap was working perfectly. On day 18, 3 human cargo vessels were intercepted by council patrol ships near the border. The vessels submitted to inspection, carrying only food and medical supplies. The council let them go, satisfied that humans were harmless. Those cargo vessels mapped every council sensor station along the border. On day 22, deep in an asteroid field 400 light-years from Earth, Captain Lisa Grant received her orders. Around her ship, the Defiance, 300 other human vessels powered up from standby mode. All ships, she transmitted on encrypted channels, begin movement to assigned positions, maintain stealth protocols. Arrival at target systems, day 29, 1800 hours standard. Time to show them what humanity built. 300 ships slipped out of the asteroid field, invisible to council sensors. Across the galaxy, in 200 different hiding spots, the same scene repeated. Humanity's secret fleet began to move. On day 25, Vorn addressed the council again. The humans are evacuating their illegal colonies. They understand the consequences of defying us. In 5 days, Earth will learn its place. Council members cheered. The Trell delegate said nothing, his expression carefully neutral. Neither did the Mekons or the Vari. On day 28, council fleets moved to blockade positions around the disputed systems. They expected to find abandoned human colonies, easy targets for occupation. Instead, they found something else. The colonies were still populated, still operating, still broadcasting signals that said, "We're not going anywhere." Vorn received the reports with confusion, then anger. They're bluffing. They must be. Maintain positions and prepare to attack. On day 29, at exactly 1800 hours, Captain Grant's ship dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the Redstone system. Around her, 299 other ships appeared simultaneously. In 46 other disputed systems, the same thing happened. In 12 additional systems the Council didn't even know were contested. It happened again. And in 6 systems deep inside Council territory, strategically important systems with shipyards, supply depots, and communication hubs, it happened one more time. 10,000 human warships decloaked across 70 systems at the same moment. On Earth, in the command center, every screen showed green status lights. All fleets in position, Torres reported. Stealth protocols dropped. We're visible now. Hayes activated the communication array. Marcus, you're clear to make the broadcast. In the council chamber, Vorn was receiving reports from panicked fleet commanders. His mandibles clicked so rapidly they blurred. 10,000 ships? Impossible. Where did they? The main display activated, showing Marcus Reed's face. Greetings, Council Leader Vorn. I wanted to thank you personally for the 30-day warning. It gave us time to evacuate civilians from combat zones. It also gave us time to move our fleet into position. Vorn's voice came out as a strangled hiss. What fleet? You have 800 ships. No, Marcus corrected. You've seen 800 ships. You watched our home system and counted what we wanted you to count. Did you really think a species that went from wooden boats to moon rockets in less than a century would stop building just because you told us to? The display split, showing feed after feed of human warships in system after system. While you debated and threatened, we built. While you assumed we were children, we prepared. While you counted our ships in one system, we hid thousands more in 200 others. Marcus leaned forward, his expression hard. You wanted to teach Earth its place, Council Leader. Allow me to teach you something about humans. We don't have a place. We make our place. And right now our place is everywhere. Vorn found his voice. This is an act of war. No, Marcus said. This is an act of defense. We claim what we legally claimed. We defend what is legally ours. If you attack, we will respond. And Council Leader? Marcus smiled. We've had 15 years to study how your species fight. We know your tactics, your formations, your weaknesses. Do you know ours? Silence filled the council chamber. You have a choice to make, Marcus continued. Accept that Earth follows your laws, your actual laws, not your unwritten rules about young species staying weak. Or attack us and discover what happens when humans fight for their homes. The transmission ended. Hayes looked at Torres. Think they'll back down? Some will. Some won't. Torres pulled up tactical displays. Either way, the galaxy just changed. Yes, Hayes agreed. Yes, it did. The 30-day countdown had ended. Humanity's countdown was just beginning. Humanity's answer. The council chamber erupted into chaos. Delegates shouted, argued, and demanded explanations. Forn sat frozen on his elevated platform, his mandibles locked in disbelief. 10,000 human ships. Impossible. And yet every sensor report confirmed it. Cross slammed his clawed hand against his seat's armrest. This is treachery. They lied to us. They followed our laws, a quiet voice said. The Trell delegate, Elder Mira, stood slowly. Her gray skin seemed paler than usual. Show me where council law requires a species to reveal its full military strength. Show me where it says we must build our fleets in plain sight. It's implied. Forn snapped. Young species are supposed to be transparent. Is that written in the charter? Mira asked. Or is it simply what we've always expected because no young species has ever refused before? The chamber fell silent. The uncomfortable kind of silence that comes when a truth no one wants to acknowledge becomes undeniable. Vorn's voice dropped to a dangerous rumble. It doesn't matter. 10,000 ships is impressive, but the Council commands millions. If we unite against Earth, will you unite? Mira interrupted. She looked around the chamber. How many species here will send their fleets to die fighting humans over legally claimed systems? How many will risk their own worlds for this? Murmurs spread through the delegates. No one answered. A small insectoid delegate from the Vari species stood. My people have reviewed Earth's claims. They are legal. We see no violation of council law. Nor do the Mekons, another delegate added. Vorn's mandibles clicked rapidly. You would take their side? We take the law's side, Mira said firmly. Something we should have done from the beginning. For 3 centuries, the council has bullied young species into submission. We call it guidance, but it's control. The humans are the first to say no, and now we're angry because they followed our own rules better than we did. This is betrayal, Cross hissed at Mira. No, Mira replied. This is consequence. We created laws that promise equality, then enforced unwritten rules that prevent it. Earth simply called our bluff. In the Earth Command Center, Hayes watched the council feed with satisfaction. The cracks are showing. Forn's losing control. Torres nodded. 3 species publicly supporting us, maybe a dozen more staying quiet. The council's not used to division. That's because they've never faced real opposition, Hayes said. Every young species they've encountered either submitted or was too weak to matter. We're neither. A communication officer called out. General, we're receiving a priority transmission from Captain Grant. Council fleet in the Redstone system is moving to attack positions. Hayes straightened. Which fleet? Forn's personal guard. 300 ships, heavy cruisers, and battleships. They're forming a blockade pattern around our colony. How many ships do we have in that system? 223, sir. Torres frowned. We're outnumbered and outgunned there. Their ships are larger, better armed. But are they better crewed? Hayes pulled up tactical data on Vorn's fleet. Look at their service records. Those ships haven't seen real combat in 60 years. They're parade vessels meant to intimidate. Our crews have been training for 15 years for exactly this scenario. You want to fight them? I want to prove a point. Hayes activated the fleet command channel. Captain Grant, you are authorized to defend the Redstone colony. Rules of engagement. Disable their ships if possible, destroy them if necessary. Show them what humans can do. In the Redstone system, Lisa Grant smiled. Understood, General. All ships, battle stations. Formation Delta 7. Let's teach these council ships a lesson. The human fleet moved with precision that shocked council observers. Ships that should have been scattered and disorganized instead flowed like water, each vessel perfectly positioned to support the others. Vorn's commander, an aging warrior named Thex, watched the human formation with growing unease. Something was wrong. Young species didn't move like this. Their fleets were supposed to be clumsy, poorly coordinated. All ships advance, he ordered. Standard intimidation approach. They'll scatter when they see us coming. The human ships didn't scatter. They accelerated toward the council fleet. Sir, Thex's tactical officer reported. They're targeting our sensor arrays and communication nodes. What? No species targets those first. Everyone aims for engines or weapons. Humans aren't everyone, the tactical officer said quietly. The first human missiles streaked across space. Thex expected them to target his flagship's main guns. Instead, They hit the external sensor clusters and communication relays. In seconds, his flagship went from commanding 300 ships to barely receiving garbled signals from the nearest dozen. "Return fire," Thex ordered. His weapons officer hesitated. "Sir, at this range, if we miss, we'll hit the colony behind them." And suddenly Thex understood. The humans had positioned themselves perfectly. Any shot toward them risked hitting the colony, the very thing the Council claimed to be protecting from human aggression. More human missiles struck. Communication nodes across the Council fleet went dark. Ships lost contact with each other, forced to operate independently. "They're separating us," Thex realized, "breaking our formation." Without coordination, a human ship appeared on his flank, having somehow circled around while his sensors were blinded. It fired precisely, methodically, not to destroy but to disable. His engine controls went offline. His weapons targeting failed. His ship drifted powerless across the system. The same scene repeated. Human ships moved in coordinated groups, targeting specific vessels, disabling them efficiently. Council ships that had never faced real opposition suddenly found themselves outmaneuvered, outthought and outfought. In 20 minutes it was over. 50 Council ships were disabled. Not destroyed, disabled. The remaining 250 had withdrawn, unwilling to continue against an enemy that fought unlike anything they'd ever encountered. Not a single human ship was destroyed. 12 were damaged, but all were already under repair. In the Council chamber, Vorn watched the battlefield in silence. Around him, delegates whispered. Some looked impressed. Others looked terrified. All looked at Earth differently now. Marcus's face appeared on the display again. "Council Leader Vorn, your fleet in Redstone system has been defeated. We disabled their ships but did not destroy them. We're transmitting repair instructions and offering medical assistance to any injured crews. We don't want to kill anyone. We just want what's legally ours." Vorn said nothing. His mind raced through calculations. If humans could defeat his personal guard this easily, how would they fare against less experienced Council fleets? How many species would watch this defeat and decide Earth was too dangerous to fight? How many would watch and decide Earth was right? "The Council faces a choice," Marcus continued. "Continue this confrontation and risk more defeats, or accept that Earth is not going to be controlled. We will follow your laws. We will respect your treaties. But we will not bow. We will not shrink. We will not be caged." Mira stood again. "I propose the Council formally recognize Earth's territorial claims as legal and valid." "Seconded," the Mekon delegate said immediately. "Third," the Vari added. Delegates began voting. Green lights appeared across the chamber, one after another. The smaller species voted first, the ones who'd been held back for generations. Then some of the middle-tier species joined. Finally, a few of the elder races added their approval, seeing which way the wind was blowing. The vote passed. 4,207 in favor, 1,300 against, 846 abstentions. Vorn looked at the results, then at Marcus's image. "Earth's claims are recognized." Each word seemed pulled from him with pliers. "Your ships may remain in the disputed systems." "Thank you, Council Leader," Marcus said. "Earth looks forward to continued peaceful cooperation with all Council species." The transmission ended. In the command center, Hayes let out a breath he hadn't realized he'd been holding. "We did it." "We did," Torres agreed. "But we also showed them what we can do. That makes us either a powerful ally or a terrifying enemy." "Good," Hayes said. "Let them decide which they prefer. But they'll never try to cage us again." Across the galaxy, in 70 systems, human ships began standing down from combat readiness. Civilians returned to their lives. Colonies continued growing. Earth had taken its place among the stars. Not through submission, but through strength. The Council had issued its final warning. Humanity had answered with 10,000 ships and a simple message. "We are here. We are staying. Get used to it, and the galaxy, for better or worse, would never be the same." In the command center, Marcus's message to Hayes was brief. "Mission accomplished." "Coming home," Hayes smiled. "Welcome to the galaxy, humanity. Let's see what we do next." The stars waited, infinite and full of possibility. Earth's warning had echoed across them all, and everyone had heard.